Jay, the CEO here, and we are back here on an accelerated timeline because the church got back with me to install the X32, which we're going to be doing that next week. So I am here at the chapel here at my church, Antioch Baptist Church, where we redid all the speakers in here and put a new Behringer board upstairs. And this is the easiest way for me to do a mock-up of showing you exactly how everything would be connected, how we're going to configure the board, get sound, we're going to be playing some stuff out of the speakers. I got my laptop and I got this camera. I think I got a cable, and we're going to set up everything to feed into a live stream. I didn't bring my ATEM. Well, I can hook it up to the computer. Yeah, we'll figure that stuff out. But anyway, let's take you through the whole thing as if we were putting this Behringer board in. This X32 board in, and try and go through as much of the stuff that I think is what I'm going to be doing at the church in Baltimore, as well as try and answer some questions y'all got. And again, I got a week, so I should be able to answer some of these follow-up questions before next weekend. So, leave the comments down below. I will put timestamps to try and cover the topics that are most pressing. And like I said, if you have any other questions, leave them down below. I will try and get to them as best as possible. So now let me go ahead and lug this thing upstairs. Yay. And then we're going to rehook up all of the mics down here, which none of them are hooked up. Okay. So let me hook up the mics down here first, and then we're going to move upstairs and get all that stuff done. All right, folks. So we got everything set up. Everything is turned on. So thank God everything is still working. I have the TV routed into one of the boxes up here to reroute so that we're capturing audio from the TV, which will go through the system. So that I don't get hit, I'll play my own stuff. So, hey, things have gotten tough. So we're going through the system here. Let me turn that down. I don't know why it pops when I go to 0 here. I don't know why it does that, but anyway, we got everything upstairs. So let me get my tripod here, and we're gonna go through setting this up. And it's funny, that is a Behringer board that I did put up there. And I was just talking to the trustee who unlocked the door for me. I was saying, this is kind of the board I kind of want in the sanctuary. So you never know. You got to plant those seeds, folks. All right, let me set this up so that I have a free hand while I'm doing this. But here's our system. I will tag the original video in where we did this. And we ain't got no light up here. All right, so this is the X1222 that we have connected. And the whole idea is we're going to disconnect all of these, connect it to the X32, and do the full setup. All right, so like I said, we're going to unhook this and plug everything up, and we want to migrate everything over. So let me go ahead and kill the power to this, and we're going to route everything over. So the main thing, and I guess I need to have my phone here so we can do a close-up so y'all can see exactly what's going on. Mark. All right, so as you can see, here are our main outs that are going to our 2 powered speakers there. That's going to be easy. We're going to connect that over to the board. And then we only got 6 channels that we're going to be connecting right now. I only have 3 mics down there, so we'll be able to get a good idea of what everything's going to be. And I really need to mark these so that I remember when I hook everything back up. All right, so I got a marker here. I thought I put my mark in my pocket. No, put a pen, but that'll still work. Let's go ahead and mark these. This is number 1. That's 2. 3, 4. Good, I already had this one labeled as 5. I normally label this stuff when I was moving it. And 6. So good. All of these were labeled. We'll know how to hook those back up. And this is, that's left. And obviously the other one is right. So we're going to do a refresher just to make sure we remember how we have each one of these connected, how they were configured, excuse me. So I think I have enough length of cable, yep, to stretch all the way over here. And it looks like I actually have some more cables here that I did not hook up because I think the board didn't allow as many inputs, but I don't think we were using that many. Because when we were over here, the keyboard and the drums and everything were never hooked up into our system. So that is fine. So how can we turn this? Let's flip this up here. And turn this around. We can have our inputs here to hook up everything. It looks like I actually got an extension on this one. I might need to take that extension back because that looks like one of the cables I used, because I could use that. All right, so here are our outputs. Let me bring y'all over here. All right, so we're just going to try and connect and keep everything in sync. Now, again, originally we have number 1 and number 8. We had connected to the snake, which I did not bring here, which reminds me, if I did put this in here, this would make it easier because all those connections down there, half of them are dead here. So I would really need to rerun some stuff. And as much as I love crawling up under the floor, I don't want to do that. So I could actually just have an Ethernet cable ran through the ceiling, go all the way back, and then put the snake up there, and that would be an easy way to add new connections. But anyway, let's connect this. 5, 4, 3, that is 6, 2, and 1. And I got these other inputs that I'm not using, so I might as well connect them. Now this board doesn't allow me to connect that, so it's not like it's going to hurt. Then we have our main outs. By default, 7 and 8 are set to the main outs. So which one did I write on? All right, this is left. And this one is right. All right, so straightforward. I do have a network down here, so I'm going to connect this over to the network and bring my laptop up, which I left down there. And we're going to go through the app as well as through the application to go ahead and configure this. And I need to hook my phone up or something here to play. All right, we got everything connected over here. Got my laptop, got it connected to the board. So technically, let's see. If we just turn it on with its default setting, do we get anything? All right, so we got it there. Now let's power up the X32. All right, we heard that. All right, so system is on. I should have brought a mic up here because we don't have any, all our wireless mics we moved. All right, so we're playing some music through the iPad right now, we're going to come over here to our aux in, and there we go. There's our line in. So by default, the outputs that are already configured are going to our speakers. So let's see, do we get anything? And then let's turn up the house. All right, good. So this is configured. Yay. All right, so we got some epidemic sound going, so that way I didn't got to worry about no licensed music. And if you're ever concerned about that, you can always click my affiliate link down below if you want to check out Epidemic Sound. I've been using them for maybe going on 2 years now for all of my music, so I don't have to worry about copyrights and none of that fun stuff. Whether you want to do this for church, has a ever-growing list of music that you can always check out. Link down below if you're interested. But that's where I get all my music from, folks. All right, so now one of the things we want to talk about is your bus sends that we got right here. This is the channel for the music that we're playing right now that's coming from my iPad. And a bus send is another way that you can route different audio for something different, and you can put certain amounts of levels of sound in there. So again, you can set up one of your buses to be a sound for your live stream, for the choir, for anything like that. So right now, if we look at this channel that we have selected, and it's both of these because they're linked, you'll see this is how much we are sending to bus number 1. This is not our main out. That's something completely different. So like, for example, if we bring up this audio again, but then we come up here to our sends, we can set how much is going to go where. So like if I come down here, and I'm sorry, it's not a lot of light up here. If I change the level here, so now, make sure we go to the next song. So see, again, it's not affecting the mains. This is just the sends for for number 1. So say we want to come in here, and let's bring that down. So let's say we want to have this for, and first off, I think we explained what the buses are for. So say you have monitors set up for your musicians, and you have certain instruments. You got the drummer, you got the keyboards, you got the guitar, bass, all this other stuff. And maybe they don't need to hear the choir. They just need to hear the music, the piano, the bass, the lead, or something like that. And they don't necessarily want to have the choir in their in-ears, something like that. You can go in here and for each channel, set how much volume you want on each one of the sends and say you only bring in only the musicians. So that bus will be just for them. All right, so say for example, hey, the choir, they have speakers, they have monitors that they want to hear. They only need to hear maybe the lead piano themselves, soloists mainly, not environmental mics for them, and then maybe the bass or the drums so they can keep the beat. So you could set that in your sends. You just have to assign which one is which. So we have our buses right here, and this is our volume, so we can set all of these. Now there are multiple ways to set these. You could come in here and then hold down the button and then pick the channels that you want. You can go through the app, any of those. Now, what about we don't like these little icons here? We want to actually give it something, a picture that's applicable to that, which we're going to do with the mics down there. So what we're going to do is go over here to setup, and now we're going to select the channel, which is the aux 3 and 4. So that's 3. And now we can pick what type of image we want to go with that. That's an iPad. So I don't know if they have something for that. No, they don't. I don't believe you can add your own, but don't quote me on that. So you can see you have a wide variety of images here. Amp. So I don't know. I would probably pick a PC for that. So we'll just select that. And it didn't save what I picked. There we go. Now we got it saved here, because you can see there's the image that goes with it. Now you can always come up here and change the color if you don't want that either. Say we want it red, and it actually does this live. So we can cycle through and set whatever color you want. If you want to make it jump out, say we'll set this as pink for our iPad, and I'm gonna come up here to channel number 4 and then do the exact same thing. Set that for the other one. So that's our left and right channels here. I'm gonna add PC to it. Boom, and there you go. So you can go through each one. So let's go back over here to mic input number 1, which I believe is the pulpit. Oh, actually, no, it's not, because it's still set to the digital snake. So let's go ahead and change that so we actually have these being direct. So we would go to routing. And because I have it here, I'm not going to do the user settings. So 1 through 8 is just actually going to be local. That makes that easy to fix. So now we're going to go directly from what's here. So we're going to go back down here, and let's turn the house up. Oop, let's turn the music down first. Let's actually just mute both of those. And then let's go back to our channels. And now let's bring this up and let's see if we can find which one is plugged into number 1. All right, and I really don't remember which one is which, but hopefully maybe it's the TV. Okay, no, it's not the TV, because I just turned it up. Let's see. Nope, not that one. And I need a cable so I can test out these mics. Let me go over to the sanctuary and get a mic cable. All right, let's try this again. I got a cable so we can go through a bunch of jacks here. So I marked off some of these because, again, some of these don't work. So it looks like somebody in their infinite wisdom has removed my tape. So let's position it here so we can test out, do we get anything? Because again, we're on channel 1 is turned up. So let's see. Nothing? This is why a lot of these need to be redone. Can't even connect it. All right, that one is a no-go. We got 2 others over here. Maybe I can just do a wide shot so y'all can see exactly what I'm doing here. Got ones over here. There we go. So that's, yay, so that's number 1. This would be the equivalent of podium mic. So we'll label this one as left podium mic. That's number 1. And those jacks are really jacked up. So they need to be replaced. So let's just do one, and then I'm gonna rinse and repeat and run back and forth to adjust and label all the rest of these. So I almost wish I could just leave this board here, but this is going to another ministry. You never know. Might get blessed to the point where we can actually add one here. So we know channel number 1. So we're gonna, channel number 1, let's give it a color. Let's set it to, I don't know. Doesn't really matter. Now let's just keep it a yellow. And let's set it here, our icon. So we just give it a regular mic right there, as you can see. And we could give it our own name. So I would say left podium, since it's over there. All right, so we got a name here. So if we see, come on, let's get in focus. Let's change the color so it's actually easier for you to read. So there we go. Podium mic, real simple. So I'm gonna switch it back to yellow. But let's go through, label off everything that we have down here, and I'll let you see what the result of is, and then we're gonna go over doing a bus, sends, and all this other stuff like that too. Now that was the long and tedious way of doing this, but we have the iPad app that's linked here, so that's gonna make it a lot easier to make the adjustments here. So we're on our channels here. We have the podium mic that got brought over based off how we set it up. So now we have number 2 turned up, and we're going to see, we can do our naming and everything here if we need to. So let's find mic number 2, and we're just going to rinse and repeat through the rest of the inputs here. Actually, let's start with the TV, because that's going to be easier. All right, our volume is already up. So let's find, we should be getting a send somewhere. All right, we just saw that. Oh, that's channel 3. That was easy. It's awesome, folks. And we got all right, so let's start with that one. So for number 3, let's do our naming, and for this, we would say this is actually our TV output. Or you could just say TV. All right, and do we need to put it in a color? I don't know. Let's pick light blue. Better images here for our selections. I don't think they have a TV at all, so we're just going to use that connection there. Actually, maybe I'll do that one. All right, so our TV is set. Cool. And did I pick the wrong one? Really? There we go. I don't know why 4 was that. That was not meant to be. Unless 4 and 5 are linked, which they shouldn't be. Set it back to nothing here. All right, that's good. Now, let's find input number 2. Yeah, here's my mic here. I think that other jack is dead. That's why nothing was connected to it. hear anything. See, I'm just gonna, okay, and that's channel number 8. So cool. This would make this so much easier than having to run upstairs. All right, cool. So this one is working. All right, so we got our TV, and this would set this one. So I would say this is, I don't know, this would technically would have been my piano mic, because that's where we used to have the piano and everything set up when we were over here. Piano mic. Set our microphone. And boom, there we go. So we got 2. And it would honestly just be rinse and repeat. But again, I think all the rest of these jacks are dead. But you can see this is why we need to replace stuff. I think this jack is dead. I guess not. Good, so that's number 2. So this would be there. And we would just rinse and repeat. Again, I'm not labeling all of these because there's no need. There's the other jack. That's number 4. So maybe these jacks are not as bad as I thought. Let's test out this other one here that I still had tape on that I thought was bad. Oh, I see why, because let's see. 7. So maybe all these jacks are not bad. So we ain't got to really wire nothing. So if we did go with something like this, hey, that avoids me having to climb in the ceiling and stuff like that. So we still got our ambient mics up there hanging down. Let's see if we can get a reading off of those. And I think this is, especially if you already have a board and you don't have to do any majorly new stuff, I think doing something like this, just migrating it over, is pretty simple, especially if you already had it labeled. So let's bring all of these down, and 5 and 6 is what we didn't have. Let's do one at a time. 5. Now don't do this at home, kids. I'm gonna stand up on here and see if I get a reading. All right. All right, I might get nothing on this one at all. A lot of dust up here because nobody's been up here to try and clean anything. Let's try that other one. Oh, let's actually just hit it with a stick and see if we get a reading off of it. Nothing. Now again, I don't know if some of these might need phantom power. I wouldn't believe so, but you never know. Let's go ahead and just set one of these just to see. We're here. And all right, that was something. That was for channel 5. All right, we're getting something now, so maybe they did need power. Let's get back up here and see which one is which. All right, I think that was it, folks, because if we zoom in here and I tap this mic, so that would be our choir hanging, and I'm going to assume that that is the next one over, because that's the only other stuff that we have. So that's good to know that actually all these jacks are working. Maybe it was just the board that we had that was giving us a problem. So let me get down and we'll just label those real quick. All right, so that would be 5 and 6. These would be our choir environmental mics. Yep. So both of those need power. So we would just, we would say choir left. I don't know what type of mic that would be. I'll pick that one. And then, that's good. Then come over here. Choir right. Oh, actually, I should have just picked that. That works. Let's switch back because I like that image for this. Now, we actually used to have wedges down here, and the board could use that, but I don't have. I'm trying to think. There should be wedge connections up there somewhere for that, but that would be with those 2 1/4-inch outputs would be. So that would be for one that's kind of set for if we were using, you know, the pulpit for whoever's preaching, and they want to hear a certain amount. And then we would have another wedge over there. Well, we didn't have it here, but you would have another wedge that would be for the musicians, because we used to sit right there in that corner right here. There are no wedges up here at all for the choir. So most of the time the wedge down here would be for the choir as well too. But again, this it was very echoey when we were over here, so it was very easy to hear. We didn't have no drum shield. I mean, I still got to think. Used to be a piano right there. I think I got a video I might superimpose on here. But hey, that's what we got. So now that we're here, we can come over here and do some routing, where the routing makes it pretty easy here. And we want to say, let's go home. And this is where we set the changes that we did. Our outputs, you know, since we have the other outputs, so 7 is our main, 8 is our other main, which are the speakers there in the ceiling. That's what we have. So we have 6 more outs that we can use. We could send one of the buses out. So this one is set to bus number 1. And these are sequentially set, but we can set these any way we wanted to. So say we have this bus number 1, mixed bus number 1. And say, based off of what we got, say the mixed bus number 1 is going to be what we're going to have for the outs there. So we can come over here to that channel, do our send, and how much of this mic do we want? You know, we would set that, I'm just saying that right now, we would set it to 0. And then let's go over to our, back to the other mic, do our other send, the same level. And we used to have 2 other mics up here for the choir, if I recall. I don't know if they were up under there somewhere, but just say if we did, and let's go back, and we want to have the piano mic in there as well too, so people could hear up here as well too. So we would go to our send, and this one was actually already set originally. So this would be, that's our mix bus. So if we come out here to our our routing, and we want to say output number 1. So the XLR out on the back of the X32, we would route to those connections up there, and then they would only hear the mix bus mix. All right. Hopefully that makes sense. Let me know if you have any other questions. I know I've been shotgunning all over the place because this really isn't the best type of location to set up for recording. It's the best because this is an empty room with a whole bunch of mics and stuff, which I don't have at home to try and thoroughly test this the way I wanted to. So, we can, and the benefit of this board is all of this can be controlled from here. So I can come up here, turn up the sound here. This would have been a dream if we had this system when we were still in this chapel, because I can just have the iPad over there. So I can set everything from here instead of having to be upstairs, which is the selling point that I wanted to do in my church. But hey, I'm appreciative of where we at right there. I got 7 more days with this before we're going to be installing it. Actually, yeah, 7 days, because next Saturday is when we're supposed to be installing this. So let me know if you have any other questions. I will, obviously, I didn't say this at the beginning, but they are timestamps here, so you can jump to the stuff. So I organized it so it can at least get you to what you're looking for so far. Playing around with the sound and configuration, so that we got the sending audio there. Haven't gotten it sending the audio back, so I'm gonna play around with that. And when I figure that out, I will have that as a separate video just for that. So if you like this type of content, appreciate a like, consider subscribing, and hit that bell. That way you get notified when we come out with other videos to help modernize your media ministry. I want to thank the patrons and the YouTube members for making this video possible. Their names on the screen now. And you too can become a patron for as little as $1 a month, or you can become a YouTube member by clicking the join button down below. No matter which way you pick, folks, you're helping us change and train media ministries all over the world. Also, brand new, I put a new level, a limited level under the Patreon option, which, yes, I know it is very costly. It's $150 a month, but it's only for 4 ministries, I believe, 4 or 5. Because the idea is for, not ministries, but for people, 4 or 5 people, the only ones that can get it. And the benefit of that one is I only have 4 or 5, can't remember the number, because I will physically, if you're within 2-hour drive, I will physically come to your ministry on a given Sunday, whichever one that you pick, as long as they don't overlap with the other people who get it. Or I will have a virtual training with your media ministry that one Sunday every month, as long as you maintain that. This is what I am starting off calling the media ministry mentor level. Again, it's limited because you only got 4 to 5 Sundays in a month. So that's what is up there. So that is a new option for you. I will be talking about that more. And again, yes, it bumps up because that's how much I would normally charge if I was doing a consultation, is within a 2-hour drive. So that's what that is for. So unfortunately, anybody that's outside of Virginia, can't open it up to y'all right now, because I'll be driving all over the place to do that. But this is a beginning, so just letting y'all know about that. So thank you so much, folks. I think I've blabbed enough. Got trains going off and pizza in the oven. So we'll be seeing y'all on the next video, folks. Later.